live video, and if I don't respond to you and you're asking questions, it's probably because you're watching it after the live video has loaded. This morning we're gonna just do a little bit of light deadlifting and some just real light arms, more volume than anything, especially on the arms, not so much the deadlifting. Just want to get my back engaged, my glutes engaged, my quads and stuff, hammies engaged, just kind of pulling through the movement and just feeling it. It's been like 3 days since I worked out because of the holidays and stuff like that, and this morning I got up and started taking care of snow and clearing off vehicles, and now I'm going to try to get a quick workout in. Good morning, Peter. Good morning. Zach, good morning. Jared, good morning. How y'all doing? 18 people on here. What's up? 18 good mornings should be on the screen. You heard GM recalled over 700,000 engines? Yeah, they're having so many problems with these engines that some of the smaller bore stuff they're just completely getting rid of. I heard recently there was a GM authority bulletin that put out they are getting rid of the 5.3 liter and the 6.2 liter, and they're going to a 5.7 liter and a 6.6 liter to replace them. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, but I am excited for the new engines. I'd like to see the 5.7 come back, and I'd love to get a 6.6 instead of a 6.2. That might be pretty awesome. Remember you did a review on one. Couldn't find it in your channel. To be honest with you, I think the one of the best ones, if you're talking about strength and fast, like being faster, um, I would go with the Milwaukee. The Milwaukee one is a little bit more money, but it's worth it. Yeah, we had a great Thanksgiving, spent it with family. I gained like 4 or 5 pounds over the last 3 days because it was Thanksgiving, then it was Grandpa's birthday, and then it was the tree cutting event that we normally do every year as a family. So I didn't watch what I ate. I limited what I ate. So instead of eating 3 plates of food, I stuck with like a plate and a half, and then I called it quits. So now I'm gonna work all of it off. Buy silver, buy silver. Okay, I'll buy silver, buddy. Same to you, Tap. But what do you mean buy silver? Is the market in for silver right now? And if I did buy silver, who would I go through? If so, I'll entertain your idea of buying silver. EC, what does that mean? Ricky, you ought to know that by now, man. Can somebody tell him what a good used truck is going to be? What am I going to say? What's up, Jay? Well, I'm just glad that I'm not as big as I was, man. I remember taking a picture in this jacket last year. Here, I'll show you the jacket real quick. Oh. My father gave me this jacket. I'll never get rid of this jacket, but my father gave me this jacket last year. And I could barely fit into this jacket. It was comfortable, but I could barely fit to it. Now watch. I'm freaking swimming in this thing, man. I remember my belly used to push the front of the jacket, and I could get these to snap, but it was a little uncomfortable. Oh, I got a button wrong. Now I'm like swimming in this thing. I still got belly to lose, buddy. It ain't gone. It's still there. It's just a lot less of it. Honestly, the doctor put me on a weight loss drug called phentermine, which is the old school drug, like the old school drug fen-phen. It's like legal speed, basically, and it almost makes you feel like you have no appetite for like half the day. So after you've slept all night and not ate, then you wake up the next morning and take it, it makes you still go another 6, 7, 8 hours plus without eating. So you're doing natural intermittent fasting basically every single day. And what it comes down to, not eating all the time, you know, like not constantly eating and snacking every time you think of food or whatever. It's mainly when you're thinking of food and stuff like that, it's because you actually need to hydrate or you need minerals, micronutrients that you're not getting. It's not so much the food itself, it's the nutrients that you're lacking. So once I started fasting until 1, you know, like noon, 1, 2 o'clock every single day, there was a lot of times where I could go all the way till dinner time, and then I'd eat just a big giant dinner, and I made sure it was something extremely healthy, like a lot of leafy greens, good quality proteins and fats from like natural animal fat sources that are not hard on the body. Contrary to what all these doctors used to say, they don't say that anymore. They don't tell you to stay away from saturated fat and things like that, because those are actually natural fats that your body can use. So once I wrapped my mind around that and I started realizing, just eat real food. Don't eat these highly processed food dyes and everything else in your food. Just eat real food. And then my body started to change. And then the doctor said a lot of people think this whole thing, a gallon of water per day, is a myth, and it's really not. Your body does need about a gallon of water at minimum per day. It needs to flush things out. It needs to keep your digestive tract healthy. And if you notice, a lot of people start to get constipated and their poop and stuff is dried up, and it's not just because of what they eat, it's also because of how they're not hydrating their body. Like, that helps everything, helps your digestive system, all that. So I started drinking a gallon of water ish. It's hard for me to get a gallon in because I don't like to drink water all day. I do like water though. But once I started drinking water and eating like unprocessed foods and just better quality whole foods, and stop going out to the restaurants and stuff like that. And if I do go to a restaurant, I eat like a Greek salad or like a Mediterranean salad or something like that. I won't eat like the pastas and things like that unless it's a holiday. Once I started eating real food, my life changed. And it just so happens that that phentermine drug, it's not for everybody. Now, there are some side effects. I had no side effects from it, but other people will have side effects from it. It helps you curb your appetite. You don't snack as much. You don't feel like you want to eat first thing in the morning. And actually, in the beginning, it kind of makes you feel nauseous even thinking about food if it's too early to eat. So the belly started going in, the face started getting slim, the legs started getting small. But right now, it's more my legs and my waist, like under the gut, that's getting smaller, and the gut not as fast. Where I'm losing it the least right now is around the chest area and the gut. Like my legs are getting skinny. I'm starting to see the veins and stuff in my shins, which I've never seen before. So it's all about eating quality food, and it's not even really so much as how much you eat. That does play a part as well. Calorie reduction does help a lot of people. It doesn't help everybody, but it does help a lot of people. It's the quality of what you eat that's the main thing. Good morning. Well, it's Brandon. That's not, I'm just going to call you AZ. They tried doing that, but the insurance wouldn't cover the $1,400 a month for trizepatide. So the doctor said, I got something that's just as good, and it does work. You have to follow the program, though. At least 150 minutes a week of activity, a gallon of water a day, watch your foods the best that you can, and I guarantee you with this, the way it helps curb your appetite and stuff, if you're doing exactly what I'm asking you to do, you're going to drop weight. Somebody asked me about a health question, guys. Sometimes the health question comes before the automotive stuff, especially if I know the answer. So I'm going to skip the automotive question to answer the health stuff. Sorry. And then I'll get back to the automotive stuff. I've got to watch myself too. I bet I can eat more than you. You probably can. I can't eat a lot of food anymore. I used to be able to just slam food, man. I can't anymore. My stomach starts to hurt and I get sick. You looked fine before, but you can tell you're losing weight. Congrats. Plus, you're a very hard worker, so you're higher calories than other people. Love the Greek salad in a minute. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I didn't really look fine before, though. Honestly, I kept telling myself that I did, but in all reality, I didn't. And there were a lot of people that I was extremely rude to because they were extremely rude to me, and they would tell me about it. Like, buddy, I don't know how else to tell you this, but I've been following you for a long time. You're getting fat, man, and you're letting yourself fall apart. You need to get yourself together. And I understand that was kind of a man just being a man to another man, but sometimes you got to play the person, not your ego and what you want to say. It would have been different if somebody would have private messaged me and said, hey, I'm concerned, about what's going on with your health and stuff like that, and I've been watching you for a while, and maybe you should pay attention to this. And I would have respected that more than trying to publicly blast me on a platform so everybody else can chime in on it and then try to haze me and stuff as well. I don't respect people that do stuff like that. You want to private message me and talk to me, that's one thing. So, and I do feel bad for jumping the gun and getting on people like that. And I've booted a lot of people off this channel for being disrespectful like that, just because it is disrespectful. You don't reserve the right to just say what you want to anybody else and not have consequences for it. Free speech does come with consequences, and sometimes that's what it is. I don't want to see people coming at me like that. So I needed to get to a point in my life where I needed to make change based on what I seen fit, and I got there. And I'm doing that actively, and I take full responsibility for being negligent the last few years, and I'm changing my life, and I'm doing it for the better. I'm doing it for my family first, and then me second. If I would be lying to you if I said it was me first, because it's not. It's for my family. So I can be around here for them to make sure that they're put together when I'm old and gray and gone. I don't really pay attention to stuff like that Yuka app, man. I don't let an app tell me what's good for me. If it's green and if it's meat, I just eat it. I mean, that's what people don't understand about free speech, Jay, um, is free speech it does have consequences. You know, we've seen in recent events free speech has consequences, and uh, you know, your First Amendment right is it's not a constitutionally protected right amongst people. That's amongst you and the government. You should be able to say what you want to the government without being jailed for it or without being criticized for it in any kind of way, without being shut down and silenced. That amendment is not uh, between you and another person, it's between you and the government. And that's where people get it twisted. And when they say, oh, Republicans talk about free speech, liberals talk about free speech, and then they silence people, that free speech is not guaranteed between you and another individual. It's between you and the government. People just don't understand that. Now, what was the question that was up here about? I know this about fitness, but is the 2016 2.3 made in Spain more robust than the 2.0? No, they're this. To me, they're the same thing. I get people from Spain that talk about, you know, they're having the same issues as we are here in America with the 2.0 EcoBoost coolant intrusion issues, but they're just not addressing it over there. They don't have the same recalls and stuff that we do over here. The government's completely different on how they address automotive recalls and problems. It's almost like they don't want to get involved in it. Go ahead, Robert, ask it, man. You can ask whatever you want. Finish what you were asking, Robert. Maybe it cut you off because I can't answer a question just off of that. Right, 100 on families. That's a real man. I'm a woman, so I know. Have a great day. I appreciate you. You as well. Hope you had a great holiday. Gonna do some light pulls real quick. Light pulls with 185. In the UK, a man got arrested for posting a photo of himself visiting the US and shooting guns at a range with friends after posting them on his LinkedIn page. Arrested in the UK now. Yeah, I mean, you can't. He should have known better, though, man. In the UK, don't they have like restrictions on stuff like that? Intermittent dieting didn't work for me. Lost a lot of muscle doing that. I'm happy to say I'm off that now. Andre, a lot of people don't actually do the intermittent fasting diet correctly, though, man. They think they're doing it correctly, and they're completely not. You know, there's a lot of people that never achieve their fat and protein goals on an intermittent fasting diet, and then they do lose muscle mass because they think they're doing it correctly, and they're absolutely 100% not. And just fasting in general shouldn't make you lose muscle mass just if you're just doing regular intermittent fasting. It shouldn't make you lose muscle mass like that. So if that is the case, then you might just be hypersensitive to intermittent fasting. There may be a specific condition with you or your body doesn't like it, but that's not the case for the majority of people that actually do it. And there's also something called PSMF. PSMF. It's protein sparing modified fasting, where it's mainly a higher protein diet, a lower amount of fat, and then it forces your body to retain muscle but go into fat. Basically, just starts devouring the fat on your body. But you have to do it very carefully. We are like cars. It's always been cigarettes. Man, mechanics love to fire cigarettes. I got you, Tony. Yeah, maybe other people can click on that link, Patriot, but I can't while we're like in a live stream. So I'm gonna pull this real quick. Just try to get a nice 10 easy 185, just to kind of stretch things out and feel it. It's felt pretty good. I haven't done it in a while. Move this party up to 225. Can a misfire in an F-150 cylinder 2? Is it 2 and 8? Cause the transmission not to shift properly? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. How are you diagnosing it? Did you swap ignition coils from a known good cylinder? Morning, Paul. Did you swap ignition coils from a known good cylinder to that and then see if the misfire traveled? Did you do the same thing with the spark plugs and see if it traveled? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna pull this 225 real quick. Get a quick set of 10 and then move up to 275 and try to pull that for 10. Maybe I'll stop there. I'm just trying to feel it today. I'm not trying to get too crazy with deadlift. Maybe I'll go up to 315. I don't know. Maybe. Not sure yet. I'll figure that out. Lurching when the gas pedal's pressed. It may be. You know, I don't know that that's your situation right now, so I can't really answer it like you probably want me to. But what I can tell you is that misfires are known to cause like several issues in a car other than just a misfire. It can do all kinds of stuff. It can cause feedback on wires. It can cause communication issues. It can cause drivability concerns with shifting with transmissions. It can cause fuel to be way off. It can cause all kinds of stuff. It can cause the catalytic converters to go bad and set PO420 and PO430 codes. Oh yeah. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Ah. 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 Woo! Hi, wifey, good morning. I cleared off I got up probably about 5:30. Cleared the snow off the vehicle, shoveled the driveway again. Trying to get a quick workout in while I'm saying good morning to everybody, and then I'm gonna shovel the sidewalk to the house. And then I'll be at your disposal for the day. Whatever you need, dear. Good morning. I love you, by the way. I didn't say I love you. Great form and powerful. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on form, because what I end up doing is, instead of having my back neutral here, when I come up, and having my shoulder blades back, sometimes what I tend to do is I round at the top, and I'm trying to force myself to stop doing that. I'll show you my movement here. Probably not a good idea to do it with this weight, but you'll see. My movement when I come into this, 275 on it right now. When I come into it, I like to go shoulder width apart, and I like to get my butt back. And when I go to come down, I like my knees to be behind my toes. And I like to keep my back in this position the best that I can. And then I pull up and through. I try to go through with my hips. So it's down, back in the spine in a neutral position, and then I go up on the legs here and shoot through. I try to shoot through with my hips to make sure the weight's back all the way. Yeah, I could have done better on that, but I got through it. Yeah, I watch Eric all the time. I love working on those coyotes, man. A lot of people think they're hard to work on. They're not at all. I love them. Maybe I'll pull one more. Should I? No, you know what? I'm not gonna push it. I'm gonna stop there for now, and I'm gonna move over to a couple sets of arms. Or actually, I want to do shoulder shrugs too. Damn it, I'm so indecisive this morning. I'll do the shoulder shrugs. Screw it. What about that? Did you see Illinois is trying to make it legal for people to warn immigrants that ICE is coming? They're building they're building kits, and they're passing it out to people in the neighborhoods with whistles and stuff in it, like how you can track ICE, how you can blow whistles to warn people ahead of time. They're making it an actual thing to where people of Illinois or Chicago can actually divvy out these kits and use them to warn other people that ICE is in the area detaining people and deporting people. How in the hell is that even legal? I don't understand how that's legal. So when I do shoulder shrugs, I don't like to be all the way back because that takes some of my shoulder movement out. I lean forward a little, so it like lets my shoulders roll forward some, and then I kind of drop down, and then I this is how I do it. It's how I feel comfortable doing it. Again, just pitch forward a little, shoulders roll forward a little, and when I pull and try to take the tips of my shoulders and bring them to my ears, hold for a second, and then back down. Because I know if I roll my back all the way out and I shrug from here, I'm reducing some of the movement. I only go from this position to this position versus if I roll forward, now I get more of it activated, and I go down, and then I go really far up, and I try not to move my head. So the movement is 20 to 30%, 25 to 30% or greater if I let them roll forward just a hair and then pull them back into their natural position. It sucks with wet snow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things suck with wet snow, just like we do. Then they're also doing $4,500 payments in Dearborn, Michigan to mothers that are pregnant. You got to get to a certain stage in your pregnancy and you can register on the site, and then they give you $1,500 for being pregnant. And then after you have the baby, it's like $500 for 6 months. Comes out to $4,500. Somebody said that's because Dearborn's trying to promote more Muslims having babies, and that's more of the government's tax dollars that can go to them. Somebody else said that, no, me. I actually went to the website and looked through it, and it didn't say anything about you had to be Muslim or you had to be white or you had to be black. It was for all expecting mothers. So I don't know the story, the complete story behind that, but I do know that is a thing because the mayor and like the director of the company actually came forward and did an interview with the news saying that this is true and this is what we're doing. I think I'm done with shrugs. I'm not feeling it. What do you guys got? Questions? Well, that is a service bulletin on those, Robert, on those F-150s. They do tell you when you have shifting issues and misfire issues and like erroneous cam issues and stuff like that to check the wiring harness that goes along the back of the passenger side cylinder head for rub through. I've only found one in my career that was causing issues like that, and it was actually random. Sometimes it was no start issues, sometimes it was cam phaser issues, sometimes it was misfire issues, and it was actually in that harness. And I had to replace the whole entire harness because some of them have two harnesses. Some of them have one for the transmission and one for the PCM. Others have only one harness and it's all tied in. It goes down to the transmission and the PCM and the engine. Starting to see freaking veins and stuff in my arms. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. John. LD. Richard Whitley. Keep on keeping on with the workouts. Question 02 F150 54 idles great most of the year, but when it gets below 45 degrees, it starts getting erratic. It smell gas. Does that have a mass airflow sensor or an intake air temp sensor? That's what I would be checking if it does. I don't remember if those do. Another thing too, I don't know if you guys know this or not, some of you guys that work out. You see when you're doing curls, bicep curls, how when a lot of people do curls, they try to keep their elbows down by their side and they curl up here and they try not to move their elbows. If you notice how I do curls, it's completely different. I'll show you. I throw a hitch at the end of it and there's a specific reason why. And I'll do these and then I'll show you what I got. I'll do this and then I'll explain it. So I start down here and I come up. Most people stop here, but I throw this squeeze and push forward at the end. So people are like, stop moving, stop moving, stop moving your arms. No, there's a reason for that. Here, squeeze and push in, then back down. You see the kid's story about the kid's birthday shooting in Stockton? No, I didn't, unfortunately. Um, so the reason why I do that is here, we all like this movement here because it's fully open. And then when we curl up, okay, so we're here. When we curl up here, we get to the top and we want to stop. But if we actually finish that squeeze and pull forward, you're closing the entire top of the bicep. When you just stop here, you're contracting it, but you're not completely closing it, as if you move forward a little bit and finish that squeeze and that connection. And if you do that, you actually close the bicep completely instead of just like that squeeze is not done until you actually come forward and close that gap in the joint and the bicep where everything comes together. You squeeze it, and it's that mind-muscle connection and that squeeze at the end that actually really helps form and develop that bicep. See, still got a little bit of gut left. Well, still got a little bit of gut left to get rid of. It's not as big as it was, but it's there. Okay. Ugh. Woo-wee. I do one more set. I'm not going to go crazy with arms today, and then I'll call it quits for the day. Couple 25s. Usual suspect, 14 shot, 4-day. Get the heck out of here. I did not hear that. Where was this at? Oh, Stockton. Man, that's freaking sad, man. Today would be the best day for sledding. Honestly, the snow went from being dry last night to like kind of wet this morning, and they will slide down that sucker fast. All right. Okay. Here we go. Feels good. Appreciate that, Nancy. I'm trying to get there. Trying to do the best that I can. I look at my wife and my girls, and it just reminds me of why I'm doing it, you know. That's the biggest thing, is just having the motivation to see and feel why you're doing what you're doing. And it's just as clear as day when you look at your family, that if you're not working on yourself, you're not working on your family. Oh yeah. But that's all she wrote, folks. That's all she wrote. Yeah, I mean, it's been a solid 4 months that this has happened, and I can't wait to see what I look like another 4 months from now. So I'm hoping I can be an inspiration of many of you dads out there and moms out there, mainly the dads, to maybe do the same thing. Change your life. Only you have the power to do that. You know, change your life. Just find that bottom of the pit can't get any lower moment, and fix it. And that's exactly what I'm doing, little by little by little. Not only mentally and physically, but also financially. I've been taking care of a lot of financial stuff little by little by little that I wasn't taking care of before. I was just kind of taking it for granted. Getting some stuff paid off in my life, it's hard. It's very hard. But I've decided to just make a change across the board. Not just in one area, because the physical stuff transferred over into the financial stuff, and I was already working on the mental stuff. It's a complete project when you start to work on yourself. One transfers over to another, and next thing you know, you're kind of working on yourself in all directions and you don't even realize it. Great job, John. 24 pounds is a lot, man. Anyhow, put this jacket that's way too big on, and shovel the sidewalk going into the house. And I am out of here for the day. If I can catch you guys a little before I go to bed, great. If not, then I'll end up catching you later, and we'll go from there. Back to work tomorrow. That Monday grind. Okay, I'm out. Go get the snow done real quick. I appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Be blessed. And I'll talk to you later. Adios.